Hi guys, very good morning to you. This is Ajay and we are actually on the video number 236, and in this video we're going to actually learn about the record when you record the macro and when you run the macro. Basically not record actually, but when you run the macro, so basically how much time your macro is taking, right? Sometimes we actually get to know, we are interested in knowing the time, that how much time our macro is generally taking, right? Maybe from the performance perspective. So I'm going to actually tell you about that how you can actually set up the code in the the VBA, and you can record your macro. When you run your macro, your time starts, and when your macro finishes, then again the time stops, and then you can see the difference between the start time and the end time. This is what exactly we're going to do. So welcome to this channel, and we have got 235 videos for you on Excel VBA, MS Access and MS Access VBA. If you are new to the channel, please go to the playlist. Here you can see that here we have got all the different playlists created, and you can click on the playlist according to these categories, basically whatever you're looking forward to, and you can click and you can find all those amazing videos, right? Just to be very quick, I've recently started this Excel VBA introduction series. Just go ahead and watch there. The videos are there. The two videos I have uploaded on the introduction of the macro, and then you have the Excel VBA collection loops, and then there is one more thing, which is Excel VBA loops example. So there we have talked about all the VBA loops from the very basic, right? So it's going to be a mixture of basic and the advanced videos. And thank you so much. We have completed our 500 subscribers this week, so I just wanted to actually thank you a lot for this. Thank you for your support, and I always try to make the videos as useful as I can, as awesome as I can, so that your information, it can be increased and you can utilize all that knowledge in your office premises as well. So let's come back to the original, actually the topic subject, which is that how to find the how much time basically your macro is taking. This is going to be very interesting. So in this video, before I jump on to the VBA code, because you see, writing a syntax is really not that tough. You can even Google it, and I know that most of the time we Google it and we get to see the things what exactly we are looking forward to. But you should understand the concept also, and that is why I always try to make my videos as explanatory as I can. And in this video also I'm going to tell you about the logic. So what exactly we want to do, as I said that we are going to talk about the start time, when your macro is going to just start, and then before it finishes, before it goes to this end sub, we would like to capture the end time as well. And then whatever the time we will have, we are going to subtract this time from this time, and we would be able to see that how much seconds the macro has taken actually. This is basically what I'm actually going to do. Right now, in order to do that, you should understand that how the date and the times are stored in Excel, and then of course in the VBA also. Now for example, how would you judge? Suppose if you are running the macro right now, and let's say your macro is taking 1 hour, right? So let me put the time here. For example, this is the time now. Right now it's let me put the time here. Let's say 14:49, right? By the way, it's good afternoon. I'm so sorry, I just created, like, I think I said good morning, right? So it's a very good afternoon to you. So now this is your time, right? This is HH, MM and SS, so you can't see the seconds, but let me just go to the format cells. Control 1, by the way, is the shortcut key, and I'm going to change this to the seconds just to make you understand, right? Okay, now you have this time available, and now let's say your macro stops somewhere at maybe let's say it is going to stop at 49 minutes and 20 seconds, let's say, right? Now in this case, it is very easy for you to subtract 20. Basically you subtract this 0 from 20, and the answer would come the 22nd. But how you actually going to do that? Because you can't directly minus this. If you do this minus this, you see that this is what exactly you're going to get. You're going to get this HHMMSS thing, and you will have to convert this. You will have to convert this into seconds. Let's say if you're interested in finding out that the duration should be in the seconds. So what we actually are going to do here is, I'm going to convert this into seconds, and then I'm going to convert this also into the seconds, and then we are going to subtract both the things, right? But in this case, when I'm going to use this code, I'm not only going to subtract the seconds from second, because who knows, if you have, let's say, a time called 51, let's say if the time when the macro finishes, your machine time is 14:51 and let's say 02 seconds. Now if you think that you are only going to subtract the seconds, for example 0 to 0, then that means you are saying that it is going to take 2 seconds, but it is not, because you know who is going to consider about the time part also. As you can see here, it says 2 minutes 2 seconds. So these are the things which we actually are going to take care of. Okay, so what we will actually do is I'm going to segregate this into 3 parts: HH, and then mm, and then seconds. Right now, you know that if I want to convert this hour into seconds, I will have to multiply it with 36. Right, so what we are going to do is we are simply going to multiply it with 3600. That makes it in these seconds, and these are the seconds, basically 50,400 seconds. And similarly, you here equals to, this is a minute, so you are going to multiply it with 60 only. You have the 60, and this is going to be multiplied only with 1, because this is already in seconds, so we don't need that, right? And then ultimately what we are going to do, we are going to sum them. So this gives you the number of the seconds. Okay, I don't know why I keep on getting this creepy error every now and then. All right, now this is all about your number of seconds, 53,340 seconds when your macro actually started. The same way, you have your time here 51 minutes and then 02 seconds, right? So I'm going to just copy the formula here and just paste it here. Now you have the same seconds because your hour actually is same, but you will see the the difference in the minutes. Okay, and same for the seconds. Now I am again going to add this. Let us go ahead and add this. Right now, you know that this is always going to be greater because this is the end time. So if your macro starts at, let's say, this position, even if the macro is going to take 1 second, the end point, the end time will always be greater than the start time. I hope there's no difficulty in understanding this thing, right? It's very simple. So we are always going to subtract the start time from the end time. So this minus this exactly going to give you the number of seconds. This is the same time which you have here, 2 minutes. 2 minutes multiplied by 60, it's going to be what? It's going to be 120. So I'm going to multiply it with the 60, and then you add, I'm sorry, okay, 120 and the 2 seconds, and when you add this, you have the 122 seconds, and this is what exactly we are going to do, right? So let's go ahead, and this is now how you are actually going to make this in the VBA. This is the idea. So we'll start the sub. So let's say I'm going to write here how much seconds. Okay, all right, now we're going to start it. So the first time when you're going to write, let's declare your start time, which is st time. Let me declare any variable, so I'm going to keep it I'm simply going to keep it at st. Okay, now this is going to be my time, so I'm going to declare it as a date, and similarly I'm going to declare my end time as date. Okay, now start time is going to be equals to what? Now. Okay, now means that it is basically going to give me the date and time together. If you apply the now function, I have talked about this function in the VBA functions. Go ahead and watch that playlist. Right now, when you press enter, this gives you the date and the time, and this is actually as per your machine. Remember that, right? This is not a random time, exactly what the time in you have machine. So if your time in the machine is incorrect, obviously needless to say that you got to correct your time, right? So we got this time, but I'm not interested basically in the date, because I know that my macro is going to finish within the 24 hours. Normally macros don't take so much of time, well, if it takes, then that's a different thing, right? You can do again some changes in the code, but right now I'm considering the fact that the macro which you run, it is going to be finish within the 24 hours. So I'm going to simply remove the date part from this. Okay, so remember guys, now is it keeps changing. I mean, the next time when you run the macro, you will have a different time. So that is why it is we are considering this now, because the moment the macro runs, whatever the time it will have, it will show you that time, right? So if you run the macro 10 times you will have a different start time, obviously, because 10 times you will be starting at the different point in time. Now once you have the ST, we would like to remove the date part. So what is the next thing I want to do here? The next thing I want to do here is I'm going to change this format. So this, now if I run this, let me show you, by the way, have a look here. Do you see that you have the 16th October date 2016 and you have a time called 2:56 afternoon, 14:56:57 seconds. Now I only need 14:56:57. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are simply, if you have watched my previous videos on the functions, then you know that we have talked about their format. So this is one of the greatest use of the format. Now what exactly you're going to do, I'm going to write here HH, MM and SS. Okay, now what will happen, this will remove the date part. Let me run this. Have a look here. Look at this, guys. Right, so date part is completely removed. Now further you will have to do couple of more, you will have to use 3 variables, one for the hour, one for the minute, and the third for the seconds. Now I want that from this start time I should be able to extract 14 and then 57 and then 33, and then I can multiply them, in order to convert them in the seconds. So what you're going to do is, the next line I'm going to do here is, let me declare any variable. Let's say I declare the A. Okay, now in the A, what I would be looking forward to is hour. What is the hour of this ST? Okay, and whatever it comes, I'm going to multiply it with 3600, because this returns the hour, right? I have actually uploaded a videos. Let me see if I can find it out. Yeah, Excel VBA function. When you click on this, you get to see a lot of functions here. Like there are 8 different videos on there, a mixture of intermediate and advanced levels. But if you're new to the functions, then I would say go ahead and watch these videos, VBA time function and VBA date functions, right? You can see here I have written here format. So we have talked in detail about these functions. All right, okay. So now the moment I run this, I want to show you what will happen. Variable not defined. I'm so sorry, I just forgot to declare the this dim. So I just keep it dim A as let's say I just keep it like this only, dim A. Now have a look here. See this. What is the value? It is 50,400, right? The same value which you are getting here. So it has multiplied 14 with this 3600. Okay, if you will not do that, just in case if you are interested in how it is going to bifurcate the things, just have a look here. Do you see that? Why? Because your ST is 14:59:24. So that's why it's separated the 14, because in this the hour is 14, right? So that's very simple. So similarly, you just need to copy it quickly. Let me just go ahead and quickly paste these values, and let's not waste the time on this very small thing. So I'm going to write here the minute function. I have already explained in that video. Just go ahead and watch that video. So minute is going to extract the minute from this HH, MM and SS format, and I'm going to write here second or seconds, I don't know. Let's just check. Yeah, it's actually second. All right, so you need to declare dim A, and then you need to declare you can declare them as long as well, because it once you're going to multiply it with the number 60 or 3600, it will be converted into number, right? So I can quickly write here long and then C as long. Okay, now this is the hour, so I want to convert it into seconds. I just write here multiply by 3600, and this is going to be multiplied with 60, and this is going to be multiplied with 1. Okay, now why, that why I'm multiplying it with 1, because you see what happens. This is when you run this function, this is a text form. Okay, in order to, this is a text form because it has a colon, 15:00 and :37. So I want to ensure that whatever the value, when it is going to extract from the seconds, it should not be considered as a text, right? It should be considered as a number. So that is why I'm actually multiplying it with 1, so that the value should also not change, and at the same time I should have all the the values in the number format. So there we go, guys, and now we have A, we have B, and you get, all right, so we are actually getting a problem here. Why we're getting 0? We should, okay, yeah, that's correct. Actually it's 15:00:37 seconds. So perfect, and 37 seconds. So now the next thing is we just need to add this. So I'm going to simply add this a plus b plus c. Okay, there we go. Right now, what is the next thing you want? Now after the the next thing would be obviously to record your whatever you want to do. You want to write the code, you want to open the workbooks, you want to compile the data, you want to I don't know now, that's all up to you. But I will be making a simple code here, and the code would be, I'm going to run a loop j equals to 1 to, let's say I'm going to run this loop 50,000 times. Okay, next, and what I want to do is I'll go in the the row number 1 in the column 1 dot value, and I'm going to print the value of the j. That's it. Okay, and let me just copy this so that code should take little time to run, and we can see this difference. So I'm going to make here 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. All right, and that's it, I guess. That's fine, right? Okay, and so let's just give some indenting. Now once the loop is finished, and by the way, let me make it, let's say 60,000, that's fine. Okay, now once the loop is finished, that means your macro is finished actually. So we would like to capture the new time now. Okay, so you remember I have declared here another function called end time, this et. Okay, so I'm going to capture et here. So the same function, basically I'm going to capture it again. So I'm just going to copy this, I'm going to paste it here. Okay, and the moment you're going to paste it, you will have a new time, obviously, because the moment this line runs, it will have a new time because you're using the now function. Right now, because you're using the now function is a very dynamic, it is not a static function. It keeps on changing because every second we are having a different time. So I'm going to write here as et equals to this format now and HHMMSS. Right now we also need to sum up these values. So again, I'm going to declare 3 variables so that we can have their these HH and MM and second, these are getting segregated. So I'm going to write here AAA. Let's say I will write AA, and then you can write here BB, and then CC, and here don't forget to change this E, because we would be looking for the how many hours we have in this end time, and rest of the things will remain same. And here I'm going to add E, and this is going to be B, AA, BB, and CC. Okay, and the next line is going to sum these numbers. So we're going to write here ET plus AA, and then BB, and then CC. Okay, so now you have the end time in the second, and then you have the start time in the second. So what you need to do is, I'm just simply going to write here message box, and I'm going to write here time taken in second or second, whatever is, and just subtract this et minus st, and that's it. That's the last line I'm going to write here. Okay, so this is how your macro is going to look like. That's it. This is a macro. And we need to, by the way, I'll just delete this line. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this macro, and let's have a look here. So I'm going to quickly run this macro. Let's see how much time it is going to take. And before I do that, or maybe you can go ahead and you can use the watch, so that we can see that exactly if it is giving us the correct time or not. So I can go ahead and I can on my watch, and then we can actually go ahead and check the second. So I'm going to hit the run. Let's see. Variable not defined. All right, which variable I haven't defined? Okay, so j is left actually. So we have to write the j here. So I'm going to write here j as, let's say, long. Okay, let's just hit here. One more variable. I really hate this. Oh, we didn't declare AA and BBB. Okay, So let me just declare here AA and BBBCC. Declare them as long. I mean, it's always good to declare the data type, correct data type. Otherwise, they will be considered as variant, and the macro can be slow. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch the videos on the the playlist. Under the playlist we have a video on the data types variable. The playlist name is Excel VBA Access Interview Questions, right? They have talked about how important it is for us to declare the long integer or whatever, I mean, it is, but don't leave them blank. And under what scenarios you're supposed to leave them blank, right? So right now I'm just keeping it like this only, but let's just go ahead and run the macro. Oh, there we go. So the macro is running now, and you can see here, let's see how much time it's going to take. All right, the time taken in the seconds is 9 seconds, and I think this is correct, right? Because I can hit again and we can start counting this, and we can estimate it. All right, so let me just hit back and hit on this. I'm going to count the seconds, and pardon me for that if I'm going to sound like an idiot. So just be there. I just want to make sure we're doing the good job. All right, there we go. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22. Oh, this is already run. I'm so sorry. That's very nasty. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just I think the macro, I couldn't see the message box, and I was calculating the seconds. That's so stupid. Let me insert the button then. We have a different ways now. Why to go to the environment, VB environment? Let's just create the button here, and now let's go ahead and run this. Assign macro, and I'm gonna run this. Okay, and I'm gonna hit here now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Oh, there we go. Now I was pretty much closer to that, right? So 8 seconds, but it's actually 9. So human, it's a human actual calculation error. So I hope you will pardon me for that. But yes, so guys, this is how actually you can record the macro, right? So I hope you understood the concept, why we converted all these things into seconds, because you never know that as I was telling you that if tomorrow you have this 145102 and this is 14490, and some people, what they do, they only consider the seconds, right? So what happens, this is going to give you the impression, if you only consider the second part, I mean, if you just in the VBA you just use this second function which I have used, then you know what will happen. This will give you what? 0, and this will give you what? If you try to extract the second from here, you will get the 2, and if you subtract this from this, you will have a problem, right? Ideally it is not 2 seconds, it is more than that, because minutes are also there, right? And who knows, maybe when you are starting the macro, let's say you are on the 10 second, then you will get the -8 here. Absolutely absurd, right? -8 doesn't make any sense. So that is why we are going to take hours, minutes, seconds, everything into consideration. Okay, so I hope you have liked this video, and that's it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon with the next video. Thank you so much.